took my precious time and went and watched the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie. Oh Lord, yet another franchise destroyed, because I am telling you, they went full on terrible with this movie. And yes, I have seen some of the Rotten Tomato scores and things saying it get a 95 and audiences love it and critics love it. And I cannot believe that at all after watching this. I rolled my eyes so hard watching this movie that literally the whole cinema went by the head. And considering the fact he had like about 10 people in there watching it, that should tell you. That literally had more people going to watch Barbie for like the third time than this. It was really, really bad. I'm telling you, really, really bad. But let me get into it so you'll understand. Let me give you my top 10 takeaways from this movie. Yes, there are going to be some spoilers going forward. No, I'm not really going to be concerned with it, because I really don't think you should waste your time and energy to watch this. But if you want to and you like it, all right, not a problem. I just can't. But all right, let's get into it with number one. The animation quality sucks. The animation quality in this movie does not look good at all. It really does not look good at all. You need only look at like Baxter Stockman, what they do to him in this movie, along with others like April, even the Turtles themselves, Splinter. It does not look good. The animation looks very disjointed and very... The only word I could really use here, the animation just looks ugly. That's the only thing about it. It looks really, really ugly. Everybody looks very, very wrong. Now, I will say, though, that the music in the movie actually was pretty good. The music was actually pretty good. But everything else, the animation quality, oh God, it was terrible. I'm telling you, really awful. Move on to number two. Everyone is depressed. Honestly, every person in this movie, mutant or otherwise, is depressed in some way. Literally everybody is depressed. They went out of their way to just make everybody and everything surrounding them just depressing. You got the Turtles whining about their depression, April whining about her depression, Splinter and his depression, the mutants and their depression. Just depression. Oh my God, boy. I mean, I could partially kind of understand the Turtles and think about it, wanted to fit in all that, but that was kind of missing the mark completely, where you just don't do them the way that it's actually supposed to be done. But that alone just didn't work. Everything was just really depressed in this movie. Like everything and everybody just wanted to curl up in a corner and cry. Lord, it was depressing and pathetic. Number three, Splinter. Now you'll realize I didn't say Master Splinter, just Splinter. Now let me say this, there are only two ways to really do Master Splinter, right? Whether it be in a movie or in when an animated series or anything like that. There's only two ways to do Splinter correctly. One, he's a rat pet that belonged to Hamato Yoshi, and while Yoshi was training, he would copy his moves, learn from him, learn his wisdom, and then he got mutated, and he was able to talk and all kind of thing, and he impart that knowledge onto the Turtles. Okay, that's the first way to do. The second is that he is Hamato Yoshi, and that he got exposed to the mutagen and turned into this rat, and he took the name Splinter, and that's what he was doing. So he's a ninja master, imparting knowledge to the Turtles and all that. His sons who he's raising. Okay. Those are the only two ways to do any kind of justification when it comes to Master Splinter. We got none of that in this movie. Nothing. because Master Master Splinter is Master Splinter. In this movie, Splinter is like your weird, creepy dad who doesn't want you to have a life without him, so he keeps finding ways to make you just as depressed as he is. I mean, in this movie, Splinter hates humans. Well, he was okay. Don't worry that he was originally a rat. That was it. He was originally just a street rat. That's it. Got somebody who's onto him. That was it. And then he took the turtles up when they were a little older, to the surface world. Some humans chased them. I mean, why would you do that? It doesn't make any kind of sense, but they need to put that in there. Right. That's it. And I mean, it's perfectly honest, but just Splinter is pretty much a loser in this movie. That's what it is, just a loser. I mean, yes, he's voiced by Jackie Chan, and the voice acting doesn't really add up with it at all, but, Splinter is an absolute and utter loser in this movie. Really. He does nothing for you to be interested in him as a character at all. There was this talk about how, Splinter might be gay in the movie. He's not. He does hook up with this mutant cockroach thing, that was there. I forget the plugin thing name. I think it's Scumbag. Yeah. But she's female, and that part where he and the cockroach thing making out and all kind of stuff, it's very disturbing. But I'm telling you, Splinter is just a loser in this movie. I refuse to use the term master Splinter. He's not a master of anything. That's it. Next up, Velma 2.0, aka April O'Neil. When the footage of April for this movie first dropped, I did a video on it. I said it was terrible, what they were trying to do was ridiculous. But you look at this April O'Neil in this movie, you would think this woman had to be like in she 30s or something. No, she's a teenager. And they have just gone out of their way to, the only thing I could describe it is just to make April ugly. That's it. April is this short, stout, fat, black woman, because of course they must race swap her with bad skin and just another depressed personality. She wants them. She's this so-called reporter for her school paper. And she doesn't want to be in front of the camera because why? Apparently, and they actually showed this in the movie, a while back she went to do some morning report, the lights and the camera and everything there, she just couldn't take it and they started vomiting all over the place. And I mean, they showed it, this the green stuff, this oil that she had. It's like, why? What about that needed to be shown? It wasn't funny, it was just disturbing and nasty. But that's it. That's what they do. And how do they meet April? They're just fooling around on the roof, throwing Ninja Star into a helmet. And I think about it that they're trying to make it like this April is somehow really interesting. No. Leonardo is head over heels for her. And same, well, we need to help that beautiful human and all kind of. Okay, fine. In the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, they did race swap April, but at least they kind of tried to make her cute. In this one, oh God, they literally gone out of your way to make her as unattractive as possible. And you act like everybody's supposed to be okay with her. Whatever happened to April being cute? Oh my God, boy. It just does not look good at all. I tell you, look at April and you won't swear she like, late 30s or something so. But no, she's supposed to be a teenager. How is that possible? I don't know, but that's what they're doing. Next up, they're not ninjas. Okay, you know how it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Yeah, take out the ninja part because rather than being trained in the art of ninjutsu by their rat master and father, no, how does Splinter so-called teach them to fight? By watching videos, literally videos of people doing some some fighting and things, like literally kung fu movies and training videos and all kind of thing. That's how they learn. So they aren't actual ninjas trained by a ninja master or anything like that. No, they're just a bunch of whiny so-called teenagers because all of their voices sound awful. Honestly, all of their voices just sound awful. Truly, all their voices sound terrible. They're supposed to be teenagers, but when they literally sound like they're 10 or 11 years old. That's it. That's literally how they sound. You understand me? And they learn the so-called art of fighting from watching TV. So it's basically like a bunch of kids who sat around watching too much martial arts movies on TV and figured that, you know what? We could do that just because. That's literally it. They're not ninjas at all. Nothing. That's just what this is. They're not ninjas. Superfly. Superfly is voiced by Ice. Let me make sure I get in now. Let's make something two of them. Superfly is voiced by Ice Cube. I'm not going to say Ice-T, but voiced by Ice Cube. And I must say his voice acting and things sounds really good. He's cool. I enjoyed all of that. Okay. But what a ridiculous flicking villain he was. And here his depressing backstory once again, right? Baxter Stockman worked for TCRI, right? And this woman named Cynthia Outram. Yeah, she's probably not an alien at all. But anyway, right. He wanted to grow Baxter Stockman wanted to make another army, a big family of mutants, right? TCRI wanted to make an army of mutant warriors. When some hit squad that Outram sent broke into Baxter's house, and then in this ensuing explosion, he was killed. He had already mutated this housefly, and the housefly started to beat up the other people inside of there, and then stole the other experiments that Baxter had and left. They went someplace there, then they tried to re-enter society. People got freaked out because they were mutants, chased them down. Superfly had to kill some guy who was chasing them, and then his ginormous plan now was to build some giant mutagen bomb to spread it across the earth and mutate every animal so that the humans will become the less dominant species, and then they will either be eaten, killed, or whatever, because, he is depressed that humanity doesn't want them. That's his big, depressing backstory. And of course, all the other mutants that are with Superfly, they aren't actually bad. They don't want to do anything. They're like, you know what? Maybe this isn't right. The Bebop, Rocksteady, and a bunch of others, some who they, of course, had to gender swap and all of this because that's important. You understand me? And they're all, we don't want to do this. Maybe this is bad and all of this thing. I mean, it's like, what's the point of all of this rubbish in the first place? You had to do that. But that's it. That's what Superfly is. Just a housefly, a mutated housefly, voiced by a famous person who just has a depressing backstory and wants to kill all the humans because he's depressed, like everybody else. Next up, these are not the Ninja Turtles. That's really what we're the Ninja Turtles. Them in name alone, but these are not the Ninja Turtles. And I will explain to you why. Each one of the Ninja Turtles has a distinct personality about them. Leonardo is the leader. Raphael is the headstrong one, tends to rush in sometimes, but he cares more about his family than anybody else. Donatello is the brains of the operation, and Michelangelo is the party dude. Right? That's who the Turtles are, and they make it work in their own disjointed, convoluted way. They make it work. In this movie, what do you get? Leo is pretending to be the leader, but he's also a depressed teen who for some reason is head over heels for April, but doesn't know what he wants to do, and he's just depressed. Raphael occasionally charges into things, but he's also just depressed, right? Donatello is not the brains of the operation. I don't even know what the hell he's supposed to be, because when they first got mutated as babies, he just suddenly got glasses. Where he got them from, I don't know. Why he needs them, I don't know, because why exactly would a mutated turtle, genetically enhanced mutated turtle, need glasses? Wouldn't he have better eyesight than everybody else? But no, he needs glasses. And his big thing about it is that he likes anime and Attack on Titan. I think he wants to be a K-pop singer or something like that. It's really stupid. And then there's Michelangelo, who just wants to join some kind of improv group. None of them act the way that they're supposed to act. They don't have unique personality when it comes to certain things. They are all literally the same person, with just slight little differences here and there. Because apparently that's what the creators think all teenagers are like. Next up, we got another kaiju, because that's apparently a thing. So when Superfly and his genius plan of wanting to kill every human by mutating everything else, Splinter realizes that, he and Superfly are kind of the same, because Superfly only wants his family to listen to him. He's always right. It's a bunch of nonsense that nobody cares about. Anyway, Superfly ends up getting thrown. He falls into the water with the mutagen, and literally turns into this giant whale-like monster, and that also incorporates some other things into his body, and he goes around stomping around New York City, trying to destroy things like that, because you need another freaking kaiju for some reason. I don't know. Just another stupid reason as usual. Next up, this is where, I shouldn't say this, but this whole thing makes no sense. That's not even about it. It makes no sense. Because when Superfly starts destroying the city, right, the turtles show up with the other mutants to try and stop him and save everybody. Immediately, literally immediately, the news suddenly starts to report that the turtles are the ones leading these mutants to destroy the city, and they're also in control of Superfly. How does that make any sense? I don't know. They literally just showed up. There's a giant kaiju destroying the city, but no. Blame the turtles. It makes no sense. You have no proof of anything. You're automatically blaming them. Because why? This movie needed some kind of ridiculous plot point to show that, they are not being taken seriously. The humans hate them. They have to do something. It's downright stupid. Completely stupid. And then all of a sudden, April goes on camera and just automatically tells everybody, listen, the turtles are actually good. They're trying to help people. But yes, let everybody listen to this random little fat black girl who suddenly shows up there and tells them this. She has no proof about anything, but no, let's just believe that. And of course, she must vomit once again on live TV. But no, let's just believe her, because the initial story made no sense. This one makes no sense, but we should just believe it. Of course, they end up stopping Superfly, because, who else cares at this point in time? Finally, my 10th point here. They just missed the point completely when it comes to this movie. Completely. The whole thing about the Ninja Turtles is that they were outsiders, outcasts. They were teenage mutant Ninja Turtles. You understand me? They knew that they weren't going to be readily accepted by society, but they were ninjas. They lived in the shadows. They protected. They helped people. They loved pizza. They did what they could do. They were heroes like that. Kind of like how the X-Men used to be before Marvel completely screwed that shit up. But that's what they were doing. They weren't out there looking to be something that they weren't. They had their friends. Yes, they had the thing they understood, but no. In this movie, they spent pretty much the whole damn movie whining about how, oh, they want to go to school and they want to be the superheroes in their life and they want to be accepted by people and all that. And then in the ending, what happens? They literally leave the sewer, right? Throw down their masks to Splinter, right? And then they just walk in school with some clothes on and stuff, and they're readily accepted by everybody. And then April, they walk out, and I'm like, you all realize this is not the point of the Ninja Turtles at all, right? But no, this is what happens. Completely missing the map, completely screwing up the entire story. Honestly. And then, conclusion at the end here in a mid-credit scene, right? The same Utrom woman here, she's clearly not an alien, right? She has the turtles and them under surveillance while they're at prom with people or some garbage like that, right? And she has the now unmutated Superfly there. And then she plans to capture the turtles again because she did capture them before and try to milk them of their mutagen, but she wants to capture them again. And then she decides to enlist the aid of the mysterious Shredder. You really think anybody gives a shit about Shredder at this point? Why would you bring Shredder into... What point does he serve at this point if Shredder isn't there as the main antagonist? What? Shredder should have been the main antagonist. Then you could have done something like that, but no. Now you're bringing him in. I'm telling you honestly to God, but this was the worst Ninja Turtles movie I have ever seen. Literally 30 seconds into this movie, I was just so fed up and wanted it to be over. I kept rolling my eyes. I was beyond annoyed. Yes, there were 1 or 2 points in the movie where you kind of chuckled, but it was like, oh God, that was it. That was it. There was barely anybody in the cinema to watch it. Was people that didn't care. And I'm telling you, this movie was the worst Ninja Turtles movie ever. And anybody who wants to say this was made for children, I have to wonder just how stupid you think children are. Put out something cool and enjoyable and children will like it. No, instead you put out this garbage and act like everybody's supposed to just love this crap. My final rating for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, I give this movie a 1 out of 5. This is a hard pass. Don't waste your time with this nonsense. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. You have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, try to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.